Just click on this box here, okay, and then you give it a 3D effect. Okay, all right. So create a new layer, and for the marquee tool, right click and select elliptical marquee. Switch the background and foreground colors with X, and left click and drag like so. Okay, and then option delete or alt backspace to fill with your foreground color, and command D to deselect, V for the move to command option G or control or G to clip mask the newly created application on our rectangle. So just reduce the fill like so to somewhere here like so. Okay, and add the layer mask. B for the move to, B for the brush to, sorry about that. Then apply something. Just switch your background and foreground colors to do away with to hide certain parts of our created ellipse. Okay, our created application. So switch with black, and then let's apply black on white to hide. So like so. Okay. Left click on it, move it down here, and then just select this. Change the color from white to blue like so. Okay. All right. Then select this rectangle here. Command C. Come here. Command V. And command option G to clip mask, okay, or control G to clip mask. Command T, the movie here like so. Okay, let's zoom in, see if it's taking effect. Okay, let's increase the fill. Okay, all right. So we are going to do the same for the rest of the boxes. Are you okay? All right. So of course, some are too intense, so we have to reduce the intensity of our 3D layer of fade. Okay, so we are going to do so from here. Okay, just select the layer that you want to reduce the opacity, and then just do it from the fill. Okay, all right. So just click on the fill drop down and then reduce it somewhere like so. Select this one too as well, and just dial in the value 42. Okay. And this one too, this one somewhere here. Okay, all right, let's select this. Okay, and then just create a new layer. Okay, and for the marquee too, just as you did for the first one, give it a 3D effect. Okay, all right, I hope you are following. All right. So shift left click and drag, release shift and distort it like so, and then release, and then option return or control or alt backspace on Windows to fill with the foreground color. Command D or control D to deselect. Command T or control T on Windows to bring or introduce a transform bounding box, and then left click and tilt it this way. Okay, move it up like so. Left click and drag. Command option G or control G to clip mask. It didn't work. Command option G. Okay, and then reduce the fill. Okay, command T, tilt it this way like so. Okay, enter. Add the brush, add the mask, B for the brush to increase the size like so, and then apply. You see, I'm using opacity of 58. Okay, I want the application to be very versatile. Okay, all right. So something like so, and yeah, like this. All right. Yeah. And now let's add more interest. Okay, let's add more interest. Okay, to our digital stuff or our digital asset that we are going to introduce in the Activate. Okay, so we are going to give it a blur. We are going to give it an inner glow just to make it look more interesting, okay, and intriguing to the eye. Okay, all right. Oh, you're not going to move with me. Yeah. Finally. All right. So add a stroke. Okay. Not a stroke. Inner glue. Okay. Inner glue like so. And then the size is 29. Okay. And we have our color here. So inner glue. Yeah. So 48 something. So let's copy and come in here, click here, and then paste it. Okay. So let's add up to opacity like so. Okay. All right. All right. It's something like so. So we are left with one thing, the blur. Okay, to make it more interesting. So just make sure that the rectangle is selected. Okay, then you go to filter, blur, blur, and then Gaussian blur. Okay, convert it to a smart object. Okay, like so. Somewhere here we do. Okay, like so. Okay, all right. So come in here, double click, and that's my inner glue. Let me add another inner glue. Okay. That's why it didn't work. It has to be on normal, not any overlay. So okay, and then you double click on it here, and then you make this one to normal. Okay, and then save it. It has to be vibrant, okay, not desaturated. So I come in here, I'll save this, so we'll have something like so. Okay, all right. All right. So let me add up to the blur a little bit. So let me just double click on the blur here and add up to it a little bit. Okay, like so. Okay, let me change the color of the BLE to white. Okay, all right. Select the rectangle here, change its color to somewhere like so. Okay, we want it to be a bit 3D-ish. Okay, all right. So somewhere like so. Okay, like so. And then we create a new layer on top. B for the brush to reduce the brush size like so. Okay, this time around, click here and select 100%, and then just double click here. Okay, to give it that 3D-ish. Okay, all right. Select the rectangle itself, and then go to outer glue. Okay, outer glue, and sample this color for it, our green. Okay, like so. I want it to be on normal. All right, opacity upwards a bit. Okay, and then something like so. Okay, so this one is not S, this is I. Okay, all right. So this is selected, shift select, shift select, shift left click, shift left click, and come in here, change their values together to, let's say, 43. Okay, like so. Then you move it down to check if everything is intact. Okay, all right, something like so. And then this, select this ls. Okay, let's clip this one to this. So Command Option G or Control Alt G on Windows to clip mask. Okay, all right. And let's group the whole thing, okay, so that we can move them together. Okay, all right. Just screw upwards like so. Let's go down like so. Shift left click on this and Command G to group them. Have our title here. Okay, then now we can move them around, okay, together like so. Okay, all right. So let's introduce some of the few assets to make the work look more interesting. Okay, all right. All right, so we have this ellipse here, underneath here, U for the shape 2, and then select the ellipse. Okay, deactivate the fill, click here, left click, activate the stroke. We have 1, okay, 1 pixels is fine. So shift left click and drag it like so. Okay, move it down, okay, like so. V for the move to, and then you have this. Okay, so let it be, okay, as it is currently. Okay, all right, I'm going to reattend it soon. And we have our subject here. So see, we have this thing over here. Okay, so let's just, before that, let's do this small adjustment. Let's add the God. Okay, let me select the title. Let me double click. We need to make a title, and then move it upwards with shift up. Okay, select this T for the type to left click and type God. Okay, God. Command A to select, just left click and drag. Okay, and then left click, register the action. V for the move to move it here like so. Okay, command enter. This one looks nice, but that's not what I'm going to use. I'm going to experiment. So let me use Ultras Library. Okay, Ultras Library. So God is going to increase the size like so. Okay, by just simply left clicking and dragging up there. Okay, you can type in the value, that is also possible. Okay, all right, and then have something like this. Register the action in the I for the eyedropper, sample this color. V for the move to, okay, and shift, release shift, and then drag it down here like so. Okay, this is fine. Somewhere here, release, V for the move to U for the shape to left click here, deactivate the stroke, left click here to activate the fill. Command J or Control J on Windows to create a duplicate. Okay, all right. Command T or Control T on Windows to reintroduce the transform bounding box, and shift left click and then rotate. Okay, like so. All right, and then just shift, okay, left click and drag to your left hand side to distort the rectangle. Command enter or Control enter to register. Shift, okay, and reposition it like so. Okay, and then plus to register a new layer here. Option left click, Option space left click and drag, or the Alt space left click and drag on Windows. Okay, drag to your right hand side here. P for the pen to left click and drag it here like so. Okay, all right. Alt or Option on Mac, left click here to break the handle. Left click here like so and drag to get this curvature. Okay, all right. Option or Alt on Windows, left click to break the curvature. Left click on this to close the path. Okay, A for the direct select to left click on this anchor point, move it here like so. Okay, P for the pen to once more. Option or Alt on Windows, left click and drag on this handle here and then move it here like so. Okay, the same applies to this Option or Alt on Windows, left click and drag this to get this curvature here like so. Okay, Command Return or Control Enter on Windows to make the path a selection. Okay, and Option Delete, or let's say Alt backspace on Windows to fill the selection with the foreground color. Command D or Control D on Windows to deselect, and then you zoom in. Okay, with Control Plus or any other tool that works, the zoom to. Okay, so let this rectangle here, V for the move to first. So let this rectangle here, and then add a mask. Okay, B for the brush to come in here. Select the hard run brush, opacity on 100%, reduce the brush size like so. Okay, and then just left click and okay, like so. Okay, V for the move to, then have something like this. Okay, all right, so we have this. So let's do some few adjustments to the God text. Okay, all right, guard. So let's zoom in and zoom out. So let's select it, then let's give it, it is not perfect white, it is off-white. Okay, all right, so let me just get the off-white color here like so. Off-white is here. Command C, come in here. Okay, double click like so and click here, then paste. Command V or Control V. This is the off-white color that I was talking about, and it looks weird. Don't worry, we are going to fix it. Okay, all right, so just going to click OK here and then register the action like so. Click here. Okay, select this and then select the God text and Command G or Control G to group it. Okay, create a new layer in here. This is going to fall inside, okay, because the group was selected. Okay, so drag it on top and then clip it into onto the group. Okay, that has the God text. Okay, to make it affect everything inside the group, including the God text. Are you good? All right, so I'm just going to drag it on top here and then Command Option G or Control or G on Windows to clip mask it. B for the M for the marquee to click here. Change the color from yellow to white like so. Okay, M once again, M to make sure that the marquee 2 is selected, elliptical. So if yours is not elliptical, right click and select elliptical marquee here. Okay, so shift left click and drag, leave shift to get a distorted ellipse and then move it down to get something like so. Okay, just down. Okay, then space bar, move it up like so. Okay, release space, this is fine. Okay, and then release. Option Delete, or let's say Alt backspace on Windows to fill it with your foreground color. Okay, that is white. Command D or Control D to deselect, and this is okay for now. So let's select the God text, double click on it.